The Kansas City Chiefs applied the franchise tag as expected to cornerback L'Jarius Sneed. It means Chris Jones will hit the open market, although there are indications that progress has been made on a deal that would keep Chris Jones with the Chiefs. He seems to want to stay with the Chiefs, even if he could get more elsewhere. I still think one of these other teams that competes with the Chiefs should break the bank to get him away from Kansas City. I'm kind of amazed no one has. Maybe they still will. I mean, obviously it's not time yet officially to start, but we're in that tampering window where teams can lay the foundation to try to do it, especially last week in Indy. So let's talk about Sneed. They've been sending out these messages all along through the reports we've seen, tag and trade. Like they really aren't serious about keeping him long term. They're interested in maybe instead of letting him walk away as a free agent and getting a compensatory draft pick in 2025, let's get what we can in 2024 from a team that will take him out from under the franchise tag. And if you remember 2009, that's how they got Matt Castle. He'd been franchise tagged by the New England Patriots, and there was a trade that sent both Castle and Mike Vrabel to the Chiefs for, I think, a second-round pick at the time. So that's what the Chiefs are trying to do potentially here now. Somebody who wants Sneed, who didn't have a chance to give him a contract on the open market, may have a chance to give him a contract through a tag and trade. It just feels like this was we need to get something for this guy, not we need to keep this guy.
Yeah, I hear you there. I mean, I'm sure they'd like to keep him. It's hard, right? This is where it's hard for these Super Bowl football teams. And, I lean on something like Howie Roseman said to us last week a little bit from the Philadelphia Eagles, right? I asked, like, what's part of the secret sauce? He didn't want to say that or give the answer, but his main thing was staying ahead of the game, in the chess match. Being revolutionary, being cutting edge, thinking ahead, thinking forward. I feel like that's what Kansas City's doing here a little bit. They're like, we can't pay everybody. We'd like to. We like L'Jarius Sneed, right? But it's a business. We got a debt. We got an amount of money we can spend, right? We got some good corners. So, the cupboard's not bare here, right? What makes sense? Whoa, this guy's a really good player, but I don't think we can pay him because we got to worry about some other people in the future, and we're paying Mahomes and all of that as well, right? So let's see if we can't, get some assets back that are very valuable, because they are a team when you're having to pay Patrick Mahomes $55+ million a year. The draft is going to be more important to them than the team with, a quarterback on a rookie contract or more of a manageable contract. So that's where they got to kind of pick their poison. And I think, again, just like we talked with Baker Mayfield and the Bucs, I think the relationship comes into play here too with Chris Jones and them. Hey, we drafted you. You've been a part of this culture. You're a pillar of the dynasty, right? You want to be here. We want you here. Let's just work this out. And that's kind of what it feels like in Kansas City.
And they probably took some solace in the stuff he said a couple of weeks
exactly
ago
right.
at the parade
right.
rally. I'm going to be here this year, next year, and the year after. So he doesn't want to leave.
No.
He got a chance to see what his life would be like when he's not in uniform on the field with the team by holding out of week one and attending the game and sitting in his suite,
sitting in the box,
watching the game.
Right.
and he quickly folded his tents on his holdout.
Yeah, he said, the hell with this crap.
At the deal that he did, it's like, really,
I know.
all that for this?
Right.
So he wants to be there, and they want him there. So he will and again, if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I'm doing everything I can. I'm using all my phrases. I'm recruiting him like I'd recruit a 5-star high school kid out of Florida to come to Michigan. I'm putting on the hard sell the moment I can.
Yeah.
I want Chris Jones, and I'll overpay Chris Jones because I want to get him away from the Kansas City Chiefs, because we're never all that stuff he says. Don't let the powder blues fool you, right?
Yeah.
That isn't going to do anything unless you get some great players. You get somebody like Chris Jones on that defense, all of a sudden you got to take the Chargers a lot more seriously.
No, I listen. I agree with you there. I hear your point totally, and I'd be trying to flirt or figure out what it might cost to get him to switch colors too. I'm there with you, but it's tough. It's tough. Being around that organization, being around what Andy Reid has created a little bit, being at practice last year, even the lead up into the Eagles Super Bowl, right? The playoff week when I was there, right, to do the Andy Reid interview, and I got to see a day of practice and hang around the facility. Man, there's guys like Chris Jones, the leaders, there's great pride in the fact that we're the Kansas City Chiefs and we got something special here. And again, it goes into what you talk about a lot. Andy's empowered them. He makes them feel like they're a part of it. You're a part of the leading of this football team. This is your team. Yeah, I'm the commander, the general here, but you do have a say. It's not a total dictatorship that way. And that's where guys like Chris Jones will go, well, okay, I'll sign this contract for a few $1 million less than market value, because he's bought into what they got working there, and that's what makes them special.
It's about rings. It's about legacy.
Yeah.
He'll never have to buy another beer or steak or anything in Kansas City. He will be a legend there, the defensive equivalent of the Patrick Mahomes.
That's right.
At least for this era of the Chiefs. The Chiefs will continue to thrive, presumably well beyond Chris Jones' career, but he's got a few great years left,
Definitely.
potentially, and he could win a couple more Super Bowls with the Chiefs if he stays put. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.